5 tips today that I call my business startup guide. Hi, my name is Megan Hernandez, and I'm a tax accountant and a business coach for bookkeepers and small business owners. And today I want to talk about some of the beginning steps that I like to kind of walk people down on this path of when you first get started in your business. The good news is that if you are already into your business and you miss some of these steps, you can actually go back and take care of it now. So no worries. If you didn't do some of these things, you can always go back and do it now. But if you are new, this is a great way to get started. So we're actually going to talk about 5 tips today that I call my business startup guide. The first tip is to actually decide what kind of business you want to be. And I don't mean decide if you want to do graphic design or bookkeeping or ads. I mean what kind of business entity you want to be. In another video, I'm going to go over all the different options for business entities, tell you all the ins and outs so that you can decide what would be best for you. The first step is to actually decide. So, the options are sole proprietorship, single member LLC, multi-member LLC, or partnership. That's where you have one or more people on the LLC with you. You could also decide to be a corporation. Maybe it makes sense for you to be a nonprofit. So those are the things that you want to decide first. Once you decide what you're going to be, you're going to go through your state and you're going to actually start the process of becoming that business entity. You might need to get a business license. You might need to get certain certificates in place. You might need to pay some fees. Getting that together is the first thing that you want to do. Step number 2 is you actually want to go ahead and set up separate bank accounts for the business. You may decide to choose to only set up one business checking account. You may go ahead and set up a business credit card as well, business savings account, a loan for the business, if that makes sense for you. But you want to set up separate accounts for the business specifically. The main reason is you want the separation between the business and the personal for legal reasons, but it also makes the best sense for tax purposes and for planning purposes later on, which we will build on in other videos. But that is the second thing that you want to do. The third thing that you want to do is go ahead and set up your bookkeeping system yourself. So if you're going to be offering bookkeeping services, you're going to start to work with other clients that have their own systems, and that's awesome. But you need to start tracking your bookkeeping stuff right away as well. So it makes it a little bit complicated in the very, very, very first steps because, like I said, the first step was setting up the business entity, which you may pay some fees, and that actually happens before you set up the bank accounts. So keep track of the money that you paid so that you can either pay yourself back from the business or that you can still count it for tax purposes in your bookkeeping system. And you're going to go ahead and start tracking everything. Every invoice you send out, everything you pay for the business, you're going to enter it into your system. Nothing is too small or too large. You're going to go ahead and start from day one because we're going to build on that. The fourth thing that you're going to want to do is become familiar with what is tax deductible for your business. This is huge because you're going to continue to grow. Maybe you only start out making $500 a month, $1,000 a month, whatever, but you're going to continue to grow. That's the plan. That's why you're starting your business. So you need to, right from the start, know what's deductible for you as a business owner. There's multiple ways to do that. You can actually go on the IRS's site and look up a tax form called a Schedule C and look at all of the options of what is tax deductible. Now, that doesn't include everything that is tax deductible because some of it is going to go in the miscellaneous spot. So it's not going to list everything for you. But I have a free resource that I'd love to share with you. All you have to do is join my group and you get it immediately. It's a free resource. It tells you everything that you can deduct as a business owner, things to think about that a lot of tax professionals don't always think about when they're working with small businesses, because some of the wording that the IRS uses is still very old. It's still very outdated. So we're able to translate that for you to help you figure out what is tax deductible for you. So get to know that and get very familiar with it. Step number 5 is to go ahead and plan to pay your taxes. Okay. The money that you receive from your clients is awesome and it's great and it's so beautiful and so exciting. but unfortunately, you can't keep all of it. Some of it is going to go to Uncle Sam. So go ahead and plan for that. There are multiple ways that you can approach this as well. You can go ahead and hire a tax professional to help you through the year. You can make estimated payments based on what you made last year. You can make estimated payments based on what you're making this year. There's a lot of ways to go about that. But the way you need to think about it is when you worked as a W-2 employee, even though you yourself weren't making tax payments on a monthly or quarterly basis to the IRS, they were being made on your behalf. So you have always paid taxes throughout the year leading up to annual tax filing. You just didn't see it. It was being done for you, and you were either paying too much or too little, and you had to adjust that when you file your annual taxes. That's why you either get a refund or end up owing some money. So when you're a business owner, you're responsible for making those tax payments yourself. So go ahead and plan for that day one so you don't get into a scary situation and feel like, oh, I don't have any money saved up for that. And it'll be a lot better of a journey. So those are my 5 tips. Those are how you're going to get started as a business owner. Obviously, a lot more stuff comes into play, but hopefully this was helpful to give you an idea that it is doable. It's just a step-by-step process and you can do it.